Are you constantly telling yourself, I'll be happy when, or I'll start living once? Putting your dreams, your joy, your real life on hold, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Imagine waking up one day and realizing you've spent your entire existence preparing to live instead of actually living. This story reveals the heartbreaking cost of waiting, showing you how one man's tragic realization came too late, and how you can break free from the illusion of tomorrow before it's too late. If this message resonates with you, please like and share this story with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe to the Wisdom Tales for more life-changing stories that awaken the soul. Once upon a time, in a busy town where people rushed from one task to another, there lived a man named David. He was 35 years old, hard-working, responsible, and always planning for the future. David had dreams, big, beautiful dreams. He wanted to travel the world, write a book, learn to paint, spend quality time with his aging parents, tell the woman he secretly loved how he felt. But David never did any of these things, because David was always waiting. I'll travel once I save enough money, he told himself. I'll write that book once I have more time. I'll learn to paint when I retire. I'll visit my parents more often once work slows down. I'll tell her how I feel when the timing is right. Every single day, David postponed living. He convinced himself that life would begin tomorrow, that happiness was waiting for him in some distant future when everything would finally be perfect, when he had more money, more time, more certainty, more readiness. But tomorrow never came. Years passed like water slipping through fingers. David turned 40, then 45, then 50. His hair turned gray. His back began to ache. The energy he once had started fading. And still he waited. Still he told himself, soon. I'll do it all soon. One autumn evening, David received a phone call that shattered his world. His father had suffered a massive heart attack. By the time David reached the hospital, it was too late. His father was gone. David stood by the hospital bed, staring at his father's still face, and a wave of regret crashed over him so powerfully that his knees buckled. All those years he had promised himself, I'll visit them more often. I'll spend time with Dad. I'll have those deep conversations I always wanted to have. But he never did. He was always too busy, always waiting for a better time. And now that time would never come. At the funeral, David's mother held his hand, her eyes red and swollen. She whispered, Your father always talked about you. He was so proud, but I know he wished you had visited more. He missed you. Those words felt like daggers piercing David's heart. He had missed his own father's life. Not because he didn't care, but because he kept waiting. Waiting for tomorrow. After the funeral, David walked through the old family home. He found his father's journal on the bedside table. With trembling hands, he opened it. The last entry was dated just 2 weeks before his father's death. It read, I hope David knows how much I love him. I wish we had more time together. I always thought we would. I thought there would be more tomorrows. But I'm getting old now, and I'm starting to realize tomorrow isn't guaranteed. David collapsed onto the bed, sobbing uncontrollably. His father had been waiting too, waiting for David to come. And now both of them had run out of time. That night, David couldn't sleep. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, and for the first time in his life, he truly looked at himself. He thought about all the years he had wasted, all the moments he had postponed, all the dreams he had buried under the excuse of someday. He thought about the woman he loved but never told. She had married someone else 5 years ago. He thought about the book he wanted to write, still unwritten, the places he wanted to see, still unseen, the life he wanted to live, still unlived. A terrifying realization hit him like lightning. He had been alive for 50 years, but he had never actually lived. He had spent his entire existence waiting for life to begin. But life had already been happening, every single day, and he had missed it. The next morning, David went to visit his mother. She was sitting in the garden, staring at the flowers. David sat beside her and said quietly, "Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't here more. I'm sorry I waited." His mother turned to him, tears in her eyes. "David, your father loved you, and he wouldn't want you to drown in regret. But he would want you to learn from this. Don't make the same mistake he made. Don't wait." David's voice cracked. "What do you mean? What mistake did he make?" His mother smiled sadly. "Your father was just like you, always planning, always waiting. He used to say, 'When I retire, I'll do everything I've always wanted to do.' But by the time he retired, his body was too weak. His health was failing, and he realized too late that he had spent his whole life preparing to live instead of actually living." She took David's hand. "Don't wait, my son. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised. Life is happening right now, this moment, this breath, this heartbeat. This is it." David felt something break open inside him. A dam that had been holding him back for decades finally burst. He realized the painful truth. He had been living as if he were immortal, as if time were infinite, as if there would always be another chance. But there wouldn't. Time was running out. For everyone. And the only moment he truly had was now. From that day forward, David changed. He quit the job that drained his soul and took one that gave him more time. He booked a ticket to Italy, a place he had always dreamed of visiting. He signed up for painting classes. He started writing, even if just a few pages a day. And most importantly, he called his mother every single day. Not tomorrow, but today. One afternoon, he ran into an old friend, a woman named Sarah. They had known each other for years, and David had always felt something for her but never said anything. This time, he didn't wait. He looked at her and said, "Sarah, I need to tell you something. I've waited too long to say this, and I'm done waiting. I care about you, deeply, and even if you don't feel the same way, I needed you to know, because life is too short to leave words unspoken." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. She smiled and said softly, "I've been waiting for you to say that for 10 years. David's heart soared, and in that moment he understood. The perfect time would never come. The only time was now. Years later, David sat on a porch, older but more alive than he had ever been. A young man approached him and said, "Sir, I admire you. You seem so happy. What's your secret?" David smiled and said, "I stopped waiting. I used to think life would begin someday. But I was wrong. Life was already happening, and I was missing it. So I made a decision. I decided to live now, not tomorrow, not someday, now. And that decision changed everything." Friends, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop putting your dreams on hold. Stop telling yourself, "I'll do it later." Later may never come. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Your life is not a rehearsal. This is it. This moment right now is your life. So stop waiting. Start living, because the only moment you truly have is this one.